Hey traders, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can combine the exponential moving average and RSI. And there are a few advantages that we should know before we do this, because calculating the EMA of RSI smooths out the volatility of traditional RSI, because in traditional RSI, the price is moving very abruptly and there is no smoothing. So by doing this, we reduce the noise, making it easier for us to identify reliable trends and momentum shifts. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to define our inputs, and I'm just going to copy paste the code that I already have written, and then I'm going to explain it line by line, because I can type it as well, but that would take a little bit more time. So I'm just going to save your and my time as well. And I'm going to paste the code and spend more time explaining the code. So here we have defined our indicator, that is RSI with EMA. Okay. And we are going to take three inputs. The first one is RSI length, which is input 14, because by default, we're going to set this to 14. Then we have short EMA length and then long EMA length. And here we are giving them the titles relatively. And after that, we're going to calculate the RSI value based on the close of the market. So here we can see the RSI value is this being calculated in the RSI variable. And after that, what we can do is we can actually plot the RSI to see what we have made. So here I can just go ahead and add this to chart, and we'll be able to see that RSI value is being plotted onto the chart. Now, what we want to do is we want to calculate the exponential moving average of this RSI, and we want to combine the EMA and RSI. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the exponential moving averages of these RSI values. And the way we can do that is here you can see we are calculating the RSI, and after that we can calculate the short EMA of RSI by using the ta.ema function. And inside the ta.ema, we have to give two arguments. The first one is source and second one is length. By default, we normally use close of the candle as source, but in this case, we want to calculate the EMA of this RSI. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this RSI as an argument to ta.ema function. And the length is already, we have taken it as input, and we're going to just go ahead and assign that here as an argument. And similarly, we're going to calculate the long RSI and long EMA of RSI. And here we are going to do the same thing, that is RSI as the source, and then length would be the long exponential moving average length. So in our case, we're going to take 9 as shorter period EMA and 21 as longer period EMA. Now let's go ahead and plot these two values as well onto chart. So we're going to use a plot function, and we're plotting the short period EMA. We're going to give it a color of green. Then here we have the line width, and title would be short EMA of RSI and then long EMA of RSI. So now what we can do is we can update this, and now you'll see that the exponential moving average of this RSI will also be plotted. We can go to the settings and change the colors if we want to. So for example, we can give this a white color, and then we can increase the line thickness a little bit. So this white line, you can see that this is the actual RSI, or relative strength index. And this green is the shorter period EMA of this RSI. So you see it's much more smooth. However, this one is much more abrupt. And as we go on and increase the period, the smoothing of this EMA increases further. Now, another thing what we can do is we can add the H lines to indicate the levels where we can see like when it's overbought, oversold, or if it's moving in the middle. So we have given the H line function, and here we can see that there is this indication now which tells us that it's going to be overbought above 70. It's just going to be oversold below 30. So now what we have is we have an indicator that combines the exponential moving average and RSI. So let me just show you a real quick example of this function and its advantages. So you can see that here the trend is in the downward direction, and as the price increases, the RSI value that is indicated by blue color is changing a lot dynamically, and even though the price is in the downward trend. But if we look at the shorter period EMA, that is this green line that of this RSI value, then we can see it's much more smooth. And similarly, if we take a look at the 21 period EMA of RSI, it's even smoother than that. So now what we can do is we can, first of all, check the overbought and oversold conditions based on these two EMAs, and then we can use the crossovers to find the entry and exit points. For example, here, if we go to this level, we can see that the RSI is in the overbought condition, and then also the crossover of this short period and long period EMA is happening here. So for example, here we can see the short period EMA goes below the longer period EMA, which means that the trend is gonna change a little. So here we can see the trend does change, and then we can use this as indicator to find long and short entries. So this is by the way, a programming tutorial, not a trading advice. You have to create your own trading strategy. So this is how you can combine the exponential moving average and RSI.